Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for attending this afternoon. First, a quick introduction. My name is Ted Pratt, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Andrea in the UK. And this will be the first of 4 webinars. The next one will be on Friday at 3 o'clock. That will be on headphones. Then next Wednesday, we will be dealing with microphones, and then the following Friday we'll be dealing with Andrea audio adapters, and there's quite a few of those, so if you haven't signed up for those other webinars, please do so. Just a few things to tell you about to start with. If you have any comments to make, you should have, and towards the top right of your screen, both a public and private button where you can actually send messages direct to me or to the whole group. Depends on which one you select. So I'd like to kick off and go straight into this presentation. I'll be moving the screens about, and Webinar Geek is pretty new to me, so please excuse me if I hit the wrong buttons once or twice. I'm pretty certain that I should be okay. So we'll move straight on with the first headsets that I want to talk about, and it includes the one I'm wearing now, which is the NC181 VMUSB. And this headset is really available in 2 variants: the 181, which is a mono single earpiece unit, and the 185, which is basically a stereo unit. Both of these really are very long-standing headsets that Andrea have had now for at least 10 years, probably more like 12 or 13 years, I would think. And they've stood the test of time, certainly within DSA circles. They're one of the leading headsets that are constantly being used in DSA for students, particularly with Dragon, where you have to have an extremely good audio input in order to get 100% output into Word. So these headsets, both the ones you can see here, come with the Dragon 6-star rating, which is the highest rating that Dragon do. It means they've been thoroughly tested and give almost 0 error rates when transcribing. Just for your information, Dragon actually stopped this service, or Nuance stopped this service around about 3-4 years ago. The guy that used to do them in the States left, and they never did replace him. So Dragon no longer tests headsets, manufacturers' headsets, but we still thoroughly test them at our end before releasing them. The nice thing is that all the headsets I'm talking about today use the same microphone that this headset uses. So that essentially would make them all Dragon 6-star rated. So mono earpiece, noise cancelling microphone, so it stops noise coming in from other directions other than your mouth. Or it doesn't stop them, but it certainly quietens them quite considerably. It's very lightweight and professional design, and as you can see on the picture to the right, it has a mute and volume buttons. I'll try and show you those. So let me cover it up. When you press the mute button, it's a blue LED actually that comes on. Don't know if you can see it. That's the blue button, so it's mute, and that button then unmutes it. Also, it has the volume up down buttons. And it's okay, just 1 or 2 people arriving late, but don't worry about that. Hopefully you can catch up. We haven't done that much so far. Should take around about 30 minutes. Don't think this presentation will take much longer. So essentially, there are main 2 headsets that are constantly being used in DSA circles and also professional circles. just before I forget, the mono version, this mic unit here swings all the way around 360 degrees, so you can actually put it, on either side of the head and it still works fine. So move on. We then really have the pretty new additions to our range, which we call the Edu Editions. And these units are primarily designed for the education market, where they need very durable units, and they have to be able to withstand all sorts of rigors of mainly children and younger people. But they're still very good for anyone, actually. I'll just show you very quickly. This is one of the Edu units, and you see the nice thing about them is that you can really give them some boost, and they always return back to where they should be. So you can also bend the mic unit. You can sort of really give it a good old twist, and they're very durable. They still come back into the right place. These units are available in USB as well. One thing I should have mentioned earlier is that all of our headsets come basically in 4 types of connector. So we have the USB, which is the most common these days. We have a connector which is called a TRRS connector. That connector will work fine with mobile devices, iPhones, iPads, slates, Android phones, etc. We then have the plugs that will, basically it's 2 plugs, one for audio and one for mic. So they're the variants that we have. So we can cope with all types of hardware, if you like. We can usually plug into it without any problems at all. So the Edu 255 USB is again getting to be used quite a lot, especially in DSA circles. Again, it has the Dragon 6-star rating, so very few errors when transcribing into Word. Same noise cancelling microphone, and as I've said, they're very tough, virtually indestructible. The other nice thing about all of the Andrea headset range is that the ear cups are also interchangeable. So if you want to change the ear cup, or you get a faulty ear cup, or it's torn or whatever, they can be quite easily changed. The earlier unit, the NC181, has a foam ear pad that can be changed. But we then have the Edu range, of course, where they're sort of leatherette, where they can be quite easily wiped and cleaned. So they're very ergonomic. Just had a few comments come up here. Sorry, on ear looks bigger than over ear. Yeah, my sincere apologies and many thanks for that, Ray. That's my fault. The Edu 2, I've got over ear and on ear in the wrong places. Typical. Never mind. So the 255 is actually on ear, and the 455 is over ear because it has a much larger head unit. Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Ray, for pointing that one out. And Ray was also saying there, I don't know I think everyone should be able to see that the large one will also accommodate hearing aids. So if you have people wearing hearing aids, then the Edu 455 is a great unit. Okay, I'll now move on. Now this is a fairly new one, and it's not really well known. It looks very similar to the previous ones, actually. If you look, doesn't look to be much difference. But the NC255 and the NC455 have got the on-ear and over-ear wrong again, so my sincere apologies. Please transverse those two. So the 255 is on ear and the 455 is over ear. My apologies for that. The difference that between these two units and the previous two units is the fact that they have an inline volume control and also mute buttons. So they have a mute button for the mic and also a mute button for the earpiece. So you can mute either or both. Okay, some people want that, some don't. In fact, it used to be, I don't know if that's still the case within DSA circles, but it used to be the case that Graham will probably know this. Graham is on there, but he might be from class. But it used to be a DSA requirement that headsets should have volume and mute buttons. In which case the NCC 255 and the NC 455 are ideal units because they both come with volume and mute buttons. Okay, that's about all I want to say about those two. Again, virtually indestructible, very, very durable, very good mics. Again, Dragon 6-star rating. We come on now to the wireless units. We basically have two items, two units available, and they are the ones shown here, the WNC 2100 and the WNC 2500. I've actually got one here that I can show you in a bit more detail. So this is the 2500. Again, a very, very compact and light head unit, and it's reasonably durable, so it will take a little bit of stick, but you know the headband is metal, so you can't really, really give it extreme torture. So this comes with just one earpiece, in which case it's the 2100, or two earpieces, and it's the 2500. It's been around for a while. Nuance didn't actually rate that because it came out after they stopped rating headsets, but we have given it thorough tests with Dragon, and again it works extremely well. It's Bluetooth, so it will work with any device that will accept Bluetooth units. It's a noise cancelling mic as well, so again it will reduce audio from the rear and the sides, and it really is concentrating on audio at the mic point. The beam again on the mono version rotates through 360 degrees, so it's okay for left or right hand ear use. It's very lightweight, you hardly know you've got that unit on. Very easy to pair as well, it's not a difficult thing to do. And around about, as I said there, about 12 hours talk time. So it does most students for most days. It charges via USB. There's a small USB cable with it, and really any USB charging point will charge these headsets up. And there are LEDs to show when it's charged and when it's charging, and basically when it needs charging as well. The other thing that comes in the box with the WNC units, it comes with a USB Bluetooth dongle, so that if you have a desktop or any device, as long as it's got USB, then you can use this to make it work with any other device that hasn't got inbuilt Bluetooth. The other thing, while I'm on, it comes with a nice little pouch as well, so a nice little zip pouch comes with it, so it's very easy to carry and transport. So that I think more or less is the whole range. I can't think of anything else. That really is the headset offering from Andrea at the moment, and they're all good for Dragon. All of our headsets are fine with Dragon and any other software that you might want to use them with. I'm using them now, as you can see. I'm just seeing one or two notes come up here. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. My apologies. To answer your question, Ray, all the headsets are Bluetooth. They're not. They are RF, because Bluetooth is RF. So they're all Bluetooth, and I don't know why you had one student who couldn't wear Bluetooth. I don't know why, but anyway, we can discuss that after the webinar if you like. Georgina just says, do you have any headsets that are noise cancelling earphones as well? The answer to that is really yes and no. We do have a unit that we've only just released, but I'll be talking about that on Friday. It's the ANR 950. We're selling it as a headset, but it has got a built-in mic, but I wouldn't like to say whether it's good enough for Dragon. It probably isn't, actually. It's mainly meant to answer phone calls. I'm just having a look at some more questions that are coming up here. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Epilepsy was the reason why Bluetooth wasn't available. Her epilepsy was affected by Bluetooth. That sounds most strange to me, Ray. I don't know why that should be. We could certainly look into that, see if we have any answers to that one for you. I haven't mentioned quoting, but our headsets are widely available in the UK, and if you're a DSA assessor, for example, you can use the class Westminster quote system. They're all on there, or the AT quote system. And I'd like to also say that all DSA equipment suppliers at the moment, and whoever they may be once the tenders have come out and been nominated, then they will all be able to supply the Andrea headsets. The only thing I would say at this point is that it's really up to you guys to specify headsets. If you just say Dragon and a headset, then quite often the supplier will obviously just supply the cheapest one that might work. So much better off to actually quote model numbers, and I've given most of them today. While I remember also, I can let anyone have this presentation on a PDF. So if you want that, just drop me an email at the end of the webinar, and I'll be quite happy to send the presentation over to you that has all the information. And all the items listed here are on the DSA approved equipment list, and that shouldn't change once the DSA equipment tenders have been nominated, and we know who's actually going to be supplying the equipment in the future. That shouldn't change at all. They should still be there. So that's my contact details if you haven't already got them. If you have any questions, or anyone who would like a certificate, I'm quite happy to issue a certificate to say that you've attended the training session. That's my email address. Just drop me a quick mail, and I'd be happy to send you a PDF certificate of training. That's no problem at all. Also, have a look on our website, andreacommunications.com. You'll see a lot more information there, and hopefully, you'll be surprised at how many items we actually produce. I've lost count now. It's quite a few. I just want to have a look to see if we've got any other questions coming up here. Yeah, I can't understand why anyone's suffering from epilepsy should be affected by Bluetooth. I'll certainly have to look that one up, Ray. I don't know why that should be. So, Georgina, if you'd like to attend on Friday, I can tell you more about the ANR 950 unit. As I say, it has got a microphone built in, but it's one of these pinhole mics. Although they work, I wouldn't like to guarantee that they would work with Dragon, for example, at all. And we don't say that they will, but we haven't actually tested them, to be quite honest. We're selling that unit as a noise cancelling, an active wireless noise cancelling headphone. So, do we have any other questions that anyone would like to ask? And I'll try and answer those. If they come up, I'll just leave it for a little while. Okay, Georgina, it's no problem at all. Well, what I want to do for you, Georgina, if you like, as long as you just drop me your email address, I'll drop you through the PDF of headphones. And then if you have any other questions, by all means, contact me and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. Dongle made a Bluetooth connection. Don't quite understand the question there, Ray. Sorry. Dongle made a Bluetooth connection. Don't really understand what you're trying to say there. Okay, Stuart, sorry. I'll just look at Stuart's question. I'm just trying to track back through here. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sorry. I thought I made that clear. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, the dongle that's included with the WNC wireless unit is a Bluetooth dongle. So that dongle will be fine for desktops, laptops, etc. that don't actually have Bluetooth built in. Sorry about that. I thought I made that clear. Maybe I didn't. So I don't know if there are any other questions. I'm looking for them coming through now. Yeah, so I've answered the dongle. It's a Bluetooth dongle. Yeah. As I say, just please drop me an email. I'll leave my email still up there on the screen. And I'd be happy to send out certificates for anyone who wants them. And I can also send everyone, if I have your details, a PDF. So you get a PDF with all the headsets listed. And I'm also around. We're an American company, but I'm based in the UK. So always happy to talk to anyone who may want help with Andrea headsets. So yeah, it's taken just under half an hour, so it's not far off the time slot that I thought it might be. Anyone else who wants any information, I'd be happy to help at any time. So if that's okay, if there's no other questions coming up, I think we can probably end the webinar at that point. I think we've covered most things. And once again, thank you all for your attention. Really happy you could come along. And any Andrea questions at all, please drop me a line. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lots of names from the past there. Nice to see a lot of you here again, and lovely bumping into you. Thank you very much. Nice to see you as well, Jane. Thanks. And Joe. And Ray, of course, in Wales. Pia, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you all again, maybe for the future presentations if you can make it. And this is actually the first time I've used this webinar program, so I hope it worked for most people. I hope it seems to work okay for me. The only other one I've used is Zoom, which is the one that I was considering using, but every time I started to work out the pricing, it just got more and more expensive. So I decided to use Webinar Geek, and I have to say it's very easy to set up presentations and webinars. If anyone ever wants a good fairly low cost webinar piece of software, then I can certainly recommend this one. I think the package I've got now is around about €9 a month, so it's pretty good. Okay, thank you all very much. Ray, Zoom is free. You can get Zoom free, but it's for meetings only. You can't get a free version of the webinar Zoom, so careful on that. I thought it was free, but it wasn't. You have to start paying. It's about £30 or £40 a month when you add everything up. But you're okay on meetings, of course. Zoom is okay for meetings, as long as, if you use the free version, as long as you use less than 40 minutes, you can use Zoom. That's no problem at all. Oh, Julia, nice to see you as well. Okay, I'll switch off here now then, if everyone's okay. Very nice, and thank you all very much for attending, and I hope to see you at the future presentations if you're around. Thank you very much, and goodbye from Andrea.